and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you acquire. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. yellow beacon and Victoria has the red beacon, but I think we'll both be going at around 9 kph. Welcome along to Paris Marathon Training long run today. 1 hour and 25 minutes. We'll be here all through that time. We are not going anywhere. Don't feel that you have to stay for the whole thing. If you want to stay for the whole thing, we'd be more than happy to have you. But if you want to just come for 5k, half an hour, that's fine by us. Just enjoy the run, enjoy the chat. 3, 2. Hello, Ken Marvang is a new runner with us today. Nice to have you with us. Sarah Jacobson is there. Jackie Ramos is there. I can see we've got about 14 or 15 people in the run. We're going to go at 9, as I said. So away we go. Oh, then stop. I think we're going. I think I'm going. Victoria's off anyway. Let's see. The treadmill normally speeds right up and then slows down again when it does that. Right, we're off. Okay. Welcome to week 6 and the Paris Marathon long run. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll stay for as long or as short a run as you like. We will be here for 85 minutes today. Hi Tina. Hello Amy. Hello Clive. And is that Worried Mortgage there on Twitch? Oh, is that a spam message? Yeah, spam message. Yes. That is 1 hour 25 in real money. Hello, Chris Nolan, who says hashtag screen for Victoria. Well, she does have a screen today. She has the iPad, and look at everyone wearing their orange singlets. Look at all of us in our posh orange singlets.
I'm feeling rather inadequate as I've not graduated yet. I'm not worthy of one of those orange vests.
How far off are you? She's not. Victoria's not got far to go, actually. I should hit level 23 today. Sarah Jacobson is already sympathising and siding with you. You have good reason, she says, to not have qualified, not have got to level 22 yet, because you've been poorly. Jackie Ramos hasn't got there either yet. Fingers crossed I can level up to 23 today, exclamation mark. Animal Socks at level 23, says Clive. And Tina Beard doesn't have the singlet either yet, so she's not at level 22. Nor Chris Nolan. Well, look at you lot. Come on. Get yourselves sorted out. Get some more running done. Victoria feels better now that loads of the rest of you haven't got the orange singlet. Is everyone having a lovely weekend so far? Question mark. So there's going to be no shenanigans today. We are staying firmly at 9 kph. Clive says, don't worry, Victoria, even my avatar is wearing a lady's extra large size. Oh, well, this is true. Tina says some of us do actually have some serious outside running to do, none of this frivolous treadmill running. So that is a good point, well made. Clive's extra large female top does fit like a glove though, so he's quite happy about that. So if you want to stick with us, then we're more than happy to have you running with us. I have the yellow beacon, Victoria has the red beacon. But if you want to run ahead, you can do that. If you want to stay behind a bit and go a bit slower. So I think Nikki is staying back a bit. Jackie Ramos is staying back a bit. Sarah Jacobson is speeding off up ahead like a young whippersnapper. Because that's what she is.
Jackie, it's nice to have you back with us. I hope your hip is progressing well. Esco Star says, Tina Beard, no way. Indoor all the way. Streets of London are not safe. Tina Beard would just like to point out that she does, however, have her parkrun 250 vest to meet us next weekend. Nice one, Tina.
Esco Star is saying, well, no, running on the treadmill all the way because the streets of London are not safe. The thing is, Tina Beard lives in possibly the most relaxed, country, chilled out, lack of crime area you could probably imagine. Running on the streets where Tina lives is probably pretty safe, to be honest. So, I'm very jealous that when we meet Tina Beard next week at Bridport Parkrun, she will be sporting her 250 Parkrun shirt. If you don't know what that is, so Parkrun, I'm sure you will have heard of us talking about this before, but Parkrun is a 5k run. It's predominantly in the UK, but it is worldwide. There are parkruns all over the world every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. You can go free of charge to run a timed 5k event. It's touted as a run, not a race, a family event, an event that everyone can just enjoy. And for completing certain levels in parkrun, you get a t-shirt. So if you do, they're milestones. If you complete 10 parkruns as a junior, you get a t-shirt for 10 parkruns. Then you can get 50 parkrun t-shirt, a 100 parkrun t-shirt, and quite a few people now are reaching 250 parkruns. So they get a t-shirt for that. There's no t-shirt for 200, which is very annoying because I'm approaching 200. And there are one or two people who have their 500 parkruns t-shirt. That means they've been to 500 parkruns or more. So, Tina, we are going to actually, for the first time, we are going to meet Tina Beard, hopefully, next weekend at Bridport Parkrun. We're going to do Bridport Parkrun with Tina, but she's going to show me up because I'm going to have my 100 t-shirt on and she's going to have her 250 t-shirt on.
Jackie Ramos doesn't feel secure running in the dark where she lives. She says crime scenes everywhere. Sarah Jacobson, I don't think my in-game chat is working, so that's why I'm silent for once. We say it's 7 weeks to Paris Marathon.
Yeah, 7 weeks.
So we're halfway through our training.
We are.
And every week I am wearing one of my Paris t-shirts. Tonight I am wearing my 2022 version.
Esco Star, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. He says, sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. It's just reality. Not at all. So, we know running outside, for some people can be, especially, obviously, we talk about women running on their own at night. And people are all well aware of that. And Victoria doesn't feel safe running on her own at night outdoors, which means that the treadmill here and Zwift is a fantastic option. And we know that, and that's why we run on Zwift. That's one of the reasons why we run on Zwift. But obviously there are places where it is safer than other places. And it's just a guess that where Tina lives in the country is a little safer. Mind you, you could have speeding cars on the country lanes, of course. That's not safe to be running at night on those country lanes in the dark with all those fast cars. Yeah. Amy says she has developed some anxiety for running outside now. Esco Star says, I have to get in my car to go to a nice leafy place to run or cycle, but I don't have time, so that's why indoor, and I'm going to upgrade to a Techno Gym My Run. Yeah, you could. That is absolutely perfect. That's what I run on. That's what Clive Finnemore is running on. That's what a lot of our runners on Zwift are using, the Techno Gym My Run. As well as the other one that we've got in here, the Noble Pro. That is the other really big treadmill on Zwift that people use. Unfortunately, the Noble Pro is not available if you're in the States or... in fact, anywhere outside of mainland Europe. I don't think you can get it. They just don't have the distribution. Hello, Yoko. Oh no. Yoko says she wasn't able to join. Will join later, made a meetup, could not join. Oh no. Isn't that the second time that Yoko's not been able to join? I seem to remember a couple of weeks ago, Yoko had problems joining. Stephen Davis, hello Stephen, hope you're well. Or was it Nikki that couldn't join last time? Yeah, Stephen Davis is with us as we approach 2 kilometres after about 13, 14 minutes. She says she's outside. She says, sorry, can't say hello, even though she's just said hello. Thanks for popping into the chat, Yoko. Hope you're all right. And yes, hello, Stephen Davies. Just while I remember then, everyone who is a member of the Zwift Run channel and, of course, of the Film My Run channel, a big thank you once again to you guys. We couldn't do the things that we do without your support. And, members of the Film My Run channel pay a variety of different subscription fees, but if you want to become a member of the Zwift Run channel, it is literally just $1 a month or £1 a month, £1 a month, just to support us that little bit more in what we do. Because this, essentially, for me, this is my full-time job. So this is what I do all the time. Running on Zwift, making videos, live streaming. And we try and keep it entertaining, we try and keep it interesting. And I thank you for your continued support of the channels that we run. So just wanted to say that. Stephen Davis, who is running with us, also has a My Run. So there are 3 people that I can see running today that have the Techno Gym My Run. And there are at least 2 people who are using the Noble Pro. There are probably more. With us in the run using the Noble Pro. Question mark. So we've got Victoria, we've got Amy Green, and we've got Tina Beard. That's 3 people using the Noble Pro. Okay. Nikki saying, running question. Did you see? Oh, I can't. Right, Nikki, I can't see what you've written properly. Let me just give me 1 second to have a look through the chat messages that I've missed. Oh, right. Standing tall is the best option. Unless you're going up a hill, you do lean in a little bit to the hill, but generally you want to stand up quite tall and just a slight lean in. The thing that people have often told me, and the thing that I reiterate to others is, or repeat to others, is imagine a wire or a piece of string going through your spine and out of the top of your head like a puppet, kind of pulling you up from the back of the neck and through the top of the head, pulling you up. That's how you should be when you're running. There is only a slight lean in, slightly more when you're running uphill. Jackie Ramos says, will it hurt? Well, no, not if you get it done by a qualified surgeon and you are sedated. But it also depends whether it's a metal wire or a piece of string. Obviously metal, when it gets cold in your spine and through your skull, it can ache a bit. But string, the only problem with string is after a while it will erode, and Victoria's telling me to be sensible and stop being so stupid. Sorry. Whose question? The incline in Zwift Academy. I don't know what the highest... It says, what is the highest elevation? I don't know what the highest elevation is. Right, tell you what. You seem to... I have no idea what I'm talking about here. Yeah, right, so, okay. In Zwift Academy, Zwift Academy have no way of knowing whether you are doing incline or not. So it's entirely up to you whether you do the incline that is suggested in the Zwift Run Academy workouts. So you're not going to lose anything by not doing the incline, because Zwift have no way of knowing whether you've done incline or not. So if your hip is not up to it, then don't do it, Jackie. That's the answer to that, I think. Jeff Partridge, hello.
Hello, Jeff. Good evening. Hello to John Farrell too. So I believe the criteria for completing the Zwift Academy is that you must complete all of the long sessions, the long stages, and you have to do a group, is it a finish line run? Which with heart rate. So each of the stages you can do from your workout folder or as a group, but you must complete one of the finish line runs, which is a group run with heart rate. Jeff Partridge has a heart rate of 47. No doubt he is lying down with a bottle of red wine.
Amy Green is well into the Zwift Run Academy at the moment. She's done stages 1 and 2. Victoria and I haven't done any of the stages yet. And Amy says we had to go up to 6% on the first run. So there you go. So if you do want to do incline, Amy says that on the first run, they had to go up to 6% in stage 1. John Farrell is on. Hello, John Farrell. Hello, Jeff, as well. Rob Harrison querying Jeff Partridge's heart rate of 47. But I think Victoria has explained it very well, Rob. Jeff is lying on the sofa with a bottle of wine, which is why his heart rate is so low. Mind you, Tina's heart rate is 58, so that's not too bad. Tina also says it's a bit early for all the nonsense to start. I suppose it is. We should probably wait another 40 minutes before the real nonsense begins. Right, are you going to swap your wrist over, swap your watch over? Oh, is it? Oh, okay. And what did you say it is? Right, 167 might be about right. Are you feeling warm? Are you absolutely sure that your heart rate is coming off your chest strap? Well, why don't you do you press the middle button. Do you want me to do it? Right, I'm going to check Victoria's watch to make sure her heart rate is actually coming from her chest strap. Bear with me. Who's he been busted by? Oh, Jeff Partridge thought he had turned the webcam off on his laptop, but because we've just said he's on the sofa with a bottle of wine, he realises that we can actually see him through his webcam. So there you go. Right, Victoria, you are using wrist-based heart rate. So I'm going to now try and find your heart rate monitor. Right, Sarah Jacobson's chat is now finally working. Once again, how do we feel about this? Are we happy? Are we sad? Is the trouble about to start? Sarah Jacobson says her heart rate is always high when she runs. Amy's heart rate is ridiculously high at the moment as well. Right, Victoria, your heart rate is currently 114. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Oh, hang on a minute. Is that my heart rate? What does it say now? Yeah. Oh no. Right, pass the iPad over to me. I'll sort it out then. Oh, right. Trying to sort Victoria's heart rate out now. So she is going to drop behind a few seconds before. Yeah, Victoria's eyes are not what they were, and she can't actually see the screen, so she's got no idea what her heart rate is. Right, I think that's my heart rate that we're looking at there. Right, so we don't want my heart rate, do we? Sorry, bear with us here. Now, you'll have to try and see if you can see your heart rate there. Mine is 109 at the moment. It's not coming up, is it? If you don't, right, you'll need to start running because you'll lose. Yeah, just leave it for the time being. No, you'll need to go back and disconnect the heart rate. No, not that one. One up from that. Oh, sorry. No, you're right. Is your watch definitely reading a heart rate? Oh, no. Right. Give me your watch again, then. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So now I've put Victoria's... On Victoria's watch, she's now got my heart rate. This is getting more and more ridiculous. Victoria's now about 40 seconds behind the rest of us. Sarah says this is stressing you out so much. Yeah, it's stressing both of us out. Let's just keep calm and get it sorted. She says she wishes she'd never done it.
Why, oh why did I mention my heart rate? Really? Yes, Tina Beard says a whole new set of tech issues. Rob Harrison just started a new plan using the Run app. Anyone tried this? Or Runner app. Anyone tried this yet? Given up with Garmin plan as not achievable.
Put it on that list.
Yeah, I will do.
Hello, Rob. So Rob's just started a new plan using the Runner app. Anyone tried this yet? Given up with Garmin plans as they're not achievable. Right. I have the Runner app. But you do, obviously you do have to pay for it, Rob. I'm not going to pay for it. So, I mean, I thought the workouts looked okay. They're a little bit generic. They're not particularly, I don't know if it learns how good you are or what kind of style of runner you are. I don't think it probably does. And, you know, there are a few of these apps out now that promise to give you a bespoke training schedule. And if you pay a lot of money, you get, the Runner app will give you a coach, supposedly, to design a workout for you. I mean, how good they are, I don't know. How good the coaches are, I don't know. And it seems to be a fair amount of money. I don't know whether you'd be worth spending that money on a coach that you can talk to in face-to-face or something, I don't know. Or if you've paid for it, then go for it and let us know how it goes. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess it depends what you're trying to achieve and whether you're just willing to kind of give it a go and see what happens with it, or whether you feel you need something robust and that's definitely going to work. And if you're willing to pay the money. Right, do you want me to try your heart rate again now that you've got the watch on? Okay.
Paul Deering was going to warn you of all of these issues when you have two treadmills. But he thinks it's far more fun watching us try to fix the issues, or watching Stephen fix the issues. Yeah. I'm at 116. Yes. 117. Yeah, having treadmills side by side. It's romantic up to a point. Clive Finnemore has picked up a pair of those weighing smart scales today. All stats look good. Paul Hayward would like to know if it measures bacon weight. Clive has responded, when I'm the bacon, it does. Clive says his body fat measurement, nice and green. Good work, Clive. Jeff, I'll just wait for Stephen to finish gibbering into his in-game chat before I read out your comment. Tina says that Clive has no body fat. Amy is going to throw her scales away because they're being mean. Mr. Cousins,
Yes.
are you just running free?
Yes.
You are listening, you have my attention.
Yes.
Jeff Partridge says, Victoria, loved your comment on my Facebook ARC memory post from 2017. I think we've ruffled his feathers. For anybody who is interested, Jeff Partridge and Stephen Cousins ran the Arc of Attrition in 2017. Jeff beat Stephen that year, and his time in 2017 remains faster than Stephen's fastest ever Arc of Attrition.
Do you know what? Sometimes I wonder why you're not married to Jeff Partridge instead of me. He has a faster 100-mile time. He's got a faster 100-mile time than me. He's got a faster Arc of Attrition 100-mile time than me. And he's got an ultra van, which are all things that you seem to laud as things to achieve in life and be proud of. Owning an ultra van particularly. I will be expecting the Dear John letter and the divorce papers through momentarily.
Clive Finnemore says mission accomplished. Indeed. And Clive says that was one of his goals this year at the Arc of Attrition. Purely to beat Stephen's time. He rose to the bait and I reeled him in. I'm really gonna get it in the neck when this is finished. Nikki says those are cool things, to be fair. And Stephen thought he could rely on Clive Finnemore's friendship and support. But Stephen's Arc of Attrition, PB, was a motivating challenge for Clive to beat. Of which he did. And Paul Hayward would say, Ellis is probably not far behind as well. I do love it when Mr. C gets totally wound up by all this nonsense. Stephen, Clive. Clive says, Stephen, we love you really. Sarah is questioning Clive's statement. Do we love him, Clive? Paul Deering says, if we include Victoria, I don't think Stephen is in the top 3 ultra runners on this video feed. Thank you, Paul. Amy is quite right. She's being sensible, though. She says it's not about the times. Tina can already see toys being thrown out everywhere. Clive, yes, also agrees with Amy's sensible comment. Says, very true, Amy. It's about reaching the finish line. But it was a good incentive at the time. John Farrell says, this reminds me why I like being divorced. Stephen, I think you missed me reading out Clive. Oh, Stephen is deliberately ignoring everything that I'm saying. I'm reading out.
John Farrell says, this reminds me why I like being divorced. Well, do you know what? I may find out sooner rather than later. It's all gone quiet on the Techno Gym in Shed Quarters. Yeah, well, it's only all gone quiet because Victoria's hogged the microphone for the past 10 minutes. Yet another enforced Stephen silence that I was forced into the other night as well.
Yes, and that's another story. Mr. Cousins is meant to be cooking dinner for a whole week. I've not seen a meal yet. Clive thinks this is all very entertaining and says, well done, you two. Clive, this is all serious marital stuff. Jeff Partridge says, pot noodles all round then. He hasn't even done a pot noodle though, Jeff. Tina Beard will never forget Clive's smug comment to Stephen at the end of the arc. Stephen? Stephen, Paul Hayward has a piece of advice for you. He's suggesting, don't get divorced, you'll have no one to cook your dinner.
You see, once again, Paul Hayward is the voice of reason. If it's not Kim Salt, it's Paul Hayward speaking the only sense on the channel. Don't get divorced, or you'll have to cook your own dinner. And no one wants that. Clive Finnemore's watch is behaving tonight, he said. Heart rate 118. That's looking good, Clive. We are coming up to 40 minutes in. 38:50, 39 minutes into the run. 46 to go. I am creeping ever closer to level 23. I think I should get there. I think I'll get there tonight. So today's run is 1 hour 25 minutes. So yeah, another 45 minutes to go, and we'll see if I can get to level 23, which is the animal socks unlock. The watch in terms of running speed or in terms of heart rate? Running speed, I guess. Yeah, always a bad idea, if that was your point, always a bad idea to use your watch as a speed source, because basically it's on your wrist, and it is totally at the mercy of what you do with your wrist. So you could put your arm on the side of the treadmill, for example, and then it would not realise that you're running. Even scratching your head or picking your nose, it's going to take out the accuracy. And you just have to move your arm very, very carefully for it to have any chance of being accurate at all.
Amy has to recalibrate her watch for every run, but it's not too far out tonight.
I just messaged in game. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining tonight. We're almost halfway through, about a minute away from being halfway through the run. Remember, the run is supposed to be very slow and easy and relaxed with a very low heart rate. So I am currently running in zone 1, and I don't expect to get out of zone 1 for the whole run. Now, your easy may be zone 2, and that's fine if you want to stay in zone 2, but I wouldn't go into zone 3 if you can avoid it. So if you're in zone 3, maybe just slow down a bit and relax. You don't need to be running in any way hard at all. As long as you feel relaxed and you feel like if you were talking to somebody, like me and Victoria are bickering away here, but we're still managing to stay in zone 1 or zone 2. So what zone are you in, Victoria? Okay, so Victoria is in zone 1 at the moment. So yeah, if you can stay in zones 1 and 2, then great. If you can talk and still stay relaxed, then great. That's where you should be. Sarah Jacobson says, no comment on my heart rate zone, but I can talk with ease, which is what I go by. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, really. Even if your heart rate says that you're in zone 3 or 4, as long as you can chat away and not feel like it's a major effort, and you're not blowing, you're not breathing hard, then that's fine. Right, Amy says, I've been in zone 3 more or less the whole time. Tina says, if it's low zone 3, don't worry, Amy, that's fine. And as long as you feel like you can chat, Amy, That's okay. If you feel like you're working hard, then you probably are working too hard. And you should slow down and just relax. Steve Davis has just said the number 9 randomly. Number 9, comma, number 9, comma, number 9, comma, number 9. Name the Beatles song. Well done. Yeah, Amy says, I'm okay, this is my normal. Okay, that's fine, Amy. It's possible that your heart rate zones are incorrect, Amy. Just make sure in settings that you have the correct max heart rate set. So if you know that you have a max heart rate, you know what your max heart rate is, make sure that is correct in the Zwift settings. Right, Sarah Jacobson, is a Beatles trivia... What does that word say? Is that a mistype or is that a word I don't know? Maven? M-A-V-E-N. Is that a word? Or was that meant to be maverick? No, it wouldn't be maverick, would it? I don't know. I actually don't know that word, Sarah. I am a Beatles trivia maven. Maiden? Anyway, suffice to say, Sarah, it should say maverick. There you go. Okay. Yeah, suffice to say, Sarah Jacobson knows her Beatles songs. So yeah, that was Revolution. I think there are a couple of versions of Revolution, and one of them is called Revolution 9, which does have John Lennon at the end of it going number 9. Oh no, it wasn't. It's a recording of somebody else going number 9. Right, Sarah Jacobson has immediately come in to correct me. There are 3 versions of Revolution. I only knew of 2. There's the single version and the one on the White Album. Where's the other one? Stephen Davies, take care, see you soon. Thanks for joining. Okay, so Sarah says, if you're counting Revolution number 9, it is 3. Okay. So I thought Revolution number 9 was on the B-side of... Oh, now I can't remember what's on the other side of that. Is it I Am the Walrus? Can't remember. It's a single anyway. I thought Revolution number 9 was on the single. Maybe not. Okay. I'm happy to... Sarah Jacobson sounds like a much better Beatles trivia queen than I am. Steve Davies says, I'm so pleased we started the Beatles trivia. Let's have some more Beatles trivia then. Anyone got any exciting Beatles trivia questions?
Here you go. It may make Tina unpopular, but she really does not like the Beatles at all. Stephen's not happy. And also, John Farrell has a question on heart rate zones. He says, I always wondered how it set heart rate zones. So, it just works backwards from your max, question mark. John, I believe that is so, but I will get Stephen to talk to you about it.
Whose question am I answering? John Farrell. I always wondered how it set HR zones, so it just works backwards from your max heart rate. Yes, John. So there's nothing fancy going on with Zwift heart rate zones. It just does the standard split of 5 zones back from your max HR. So there's no HRV, there's no HRR, there's no threshold setting. there's no heart rate reserve setting, which is what I use generally. Obviously not on Zwift, but in Strava and in Garmin Connect, I use heart rate reserve. So heart rate reserve is where your heart rate zones are set using your max heart rate and your resting heart rate. But Zwift isn't that clever, so it only uses max heart rate. You can also set your heart rate zones using your lactate threshold, or your threshold anyway, and set heart rate zones from there. No, John Farrell says, does it match Garmin? No, it doesn't. Unless, of course, you set your Garmin heart rate zones using max heart rate. So if you set your heart rate zones using max HR, then I'm not sure it uses the same algorithm, but it should be pretty close, because there is a fairly standard formula for working out your heart rate zones based on your max HR. So I'm guessing that Zwift would use one that's very similar to Garmin, but Garmin's heart rate zones, I think, are default set to heart rate reserve. I'm not entirely sure, but I think they are default at heart rate reserve. Strava's heart rate zones, they are... they're certainly not set at heart rate reserve, because you can't do heart rate reserve on Strava. So I think they're set at max HR as well. Yeah.
Paul Hayward thinks the Beatles are so yesterday.
Very good.
Stephen thinks that's very clever. Jeff Partridge is asking who will be in Cornwall for the Traverse. Clive says, interestingly, they are not doing the Extreme Traverse anymore, which was an out and back. So he has a very rare Traverse Extreme hoodie. Am I correct in thinking that is the same weekend as Paris Marathon? So we will not be there.
Right.
Tina has apologised to Sarah for not liking the Beatles. Yes, Jeff Partridge says 2nd of April. Lots on that weekend. 2nd of April, Paris Marathon. It's a Southwest Traverse. It's a Brighton Marathon as well, which is our local marathon, which we've never done. Sarah has forgiven Tina Beard. She says you have other redeeming qualities. Apparently it's also the Forest of Dean half marathon. It's possibly Clive Finnemore's house moving weekend.
Right, Clive Finnemore saying April the 2nd is possibly their house moving weekend. Clive, is your house moving, is it you're moving to Paris so that you can do the Paris Marathon? Sarah Jacobson has finally uploaded her medical certificate for the Paris Marathon. That is good to hear. I'm not sure I haven't done mine yet. And Victoria hasn't done hers yet, so we'll have to get that sorted in the next few weeks. And I keep saying that I'm going to have to try and sort out a list of who we've got definitely coming to the Paris Marathon, because I'm starting to lose track of names. So we need to make sure that... I mean, I know we've got at least 4 of us. Me, Victoria, Sarah Jacobson and Kevin DeLuca. John Farrell has dropped out. So, yeah, I need to work out who else there is as well.
Jason Mitchell will be there. John Farrell managed to get an entry to the Boulogne race on Tuesday. I don't know what that is.
Boulogne race is that.
Oh, Jonathan.
So the Boulogne races, years and years ago, there used to be horse racing in Newcastle upon Tyne. Boulogne races, and that's why they sing the song in Newcastle called the Boulogne races. I don't know if you've heard the song the Boulogne races. It's a very fine tune. I could be forced, I could be asked, I'll shut up now.
Jeff Partridge is making a very good point. If you're moving on April the second weekend, Clive, then that means you can sign up for TDS, which is at the end of August. Clive thinks he might be a bit skint this year. Lots of animal enclosures to build. Put the animals in your house, spend the money on a holiday and a race. Happy family? Tina says, God, you're not going to sing again. John Farrell says he's not doing Paris. If anyone wants his entry, he can try and transfer it. I'm not sure they allow transfers.
Right, Tina says, you're not going to sing again. She's misspelled my name, though. She's called me God instead of Stephen. Far be it from me to disagree, obviously, but yes, I'm not... Many people have said, contrary to popular belief, I am not God. I am just pure, plain old Stephen. But thank you anyway. No, I won't sing. I think I brought enough pleasure to your ears on Friday. Oh, was it Thursday? On Thursday, when we did the Bag That Badge run, when you will have been delighted to hear my rendition of the Ski Sunday theme tune, together with skiing action on the treadmill. Victoria is already very upset that she missed that, and no doubt in any minute now will ask me for a repeat rendition. But yeah, no, I'll save you the joy for another time. It's always good to anticipate ecstasy, isn't it? And sometimes the anticipation of ecstasy is more exciting than the actual ecstasy itself. So I will let you hold on to the anticipation of joy for a little while longer.
Jeff Partridge hopes shed quarters doors open really wide to get his head out. No, Jeff, we want them closed so that he can't get out of the shed quarters. He can stay out here all night. Be bliss tonight for me. Tina says, good grief, Stephen. You know how to waffle. I have to put up with this all the time. And he has the audacity to tell me that I talk a lot.
Tina, we're going to meet in real life next week. I can talk to you all you like. Are you looking forward to that? I can see Tina's excited. She's thinking, I cannot wait to spend half an hour of parkrun in the company of Stephen and Victoria, and to listen to Stephen talk in real life rather than simply over a microphone. Herbert Krabell has just entered the Spine Challenger. Wow, we need a bigger Zwift in real life meetup there. Gosh, the Spine Challenger, I mean, that's a tough race. Yeah. Hopefully we will meet Herbert in Chamonix this year, because he had to cancel last year at the last minute. In fact, Herbert and his family were in Chamonix the week before we arrived. And unfortunately their son was taken ill and they had to fly back to the States, which meant that Herbert wasn't able to do CCC, but he has got in again. Luckily, he's made it in. So we will hopefully meet Herbert in Chamonix this year. But yeah, Herbert has entered the Spine Challenger. So we have talked about the Spine a lot on this channel. The Spine is a 268-mile race across the spine of the UK along the Pennine Way. Very difficult winter challenge, 268 miles, which Jeff has entered for the last 2 years, and he's entered it again for next year. The Spine Challenger is a shorter version, so I think it's just over 100 miles. And Herbert Krabell has entered the Spine Challenger for next year. Amazing. Right, Esco Star says, Clive, right, I'm not sure if Esco Star means me or Clive here. He says, what's your background? Triathlete. No, Esco, well, if you're talking about me, I'm Stephen. Clive is running, and Clive does often do live streaming on this channel, but Clive's not live streaming tonight, I don't think. So I'm Stephen. I'm not a triathlete. I have done a few triathlons, but I would describe myself as a long-distance ultra runner. So my main love is distances of 50 miles and over, and ideally mountain races, which I love. But I do all sorts of distances. I mean, I did a 10k on Sunday gone. Last Sunday I did a 10k. I do enjoy a flat, fast road marathon. The one full Ironman distance triathlon that I tried, I DNF'd. Partly because I was too slow, and partly because I had 2 punctures on my bike. So I'm not very good at cycling, unfortunately. Yeah, Esco Star did mean me. He says, oops, sorry, Stephen. That's no problem. But it's funny that, because Clive, who is running with us today, he is also a live streamer on here. So if you want to watch Clive, he'll be streaming. Are you streaming tomorrow, Clive? Certainly Monday. He'll be live streaming on this channel. Well, I'm okay at swimming. I'm a good runner, a good-ish runner, and a rubbish cyclist.
Jeff Partridge has a question. Didn't you finish your Ironman?
No. Right, stop it.
Jeff Partridge, I think he's about to turn his treadmill off. The last triathlon Stephen did, and he did complete it, it was a half distance, and he didn't follow his race plan. He was going to have a can of Red Bull in transition, having come out of the swim, but he thought that he would be really sensible and drink the can of Red Bull whilst on his bike. Save a bit of time. I don't think he'd even done a kilometre on the bike. I think the front wheel hit a pothole or something. Apparently it was just as he went to go downhill. And he didn't realise he was going downhill. Suffice to say, he came off the bike, hit the ground rather hard, managed to get himself back on the bike with broken ribs, But once he was locked into the cycling position, he managed to complete the cycle ride relatively pain-free. When it came to the half marathon run, I think it took him just over 3 hours to do that half marathon. He was in so much pain, but he was stubborn and determined to finish. He, having done had the DNF before, it's all on the same course. He finished, and he's never done triathlon since.
Tina Beard says, that's funny, I very recently watched your triathlon videos. Yeah, I would love to do another triathlon one day, but I don't know. Paul Hayward has pointed out something very flattering. Thank you very much, Paul. He says, you did hold the cycling record, distance record on Zwift for 24 hours. Yes, indeed I did. In fact, I think it was about 48 hours. Many years ago, when Zwift was a new thing. I remember Shane Miller. Many of you will know Shane Miller as a very prominent cyclist on Zwift. He used to do the podcast before it stopped, and the Zwiftcast. Anyway, Shane Miller once cycled 420 kilometres on Zwift one day. And I said, right, I'm going to beat that. So I set out one morning and cycled for about 17 hours and did 500 kilometres on Zwift. And I held that record for the longest cycle on Zwift for about 48 hours, and then somebody else came on and did a bit further. And it was a little bit of a battle for a long time for quite a few people to go further and further and further on Zwift in one go. Right, Sarah has got a knee problem, so she's going to stop. Knee and toe problem, so she's going to stop. Doesn't want to push it. Good idea. Esco says you can still enter the Boulogne and Palace Triathlon on June the 3rd. I would love to, Esco, but I've got a packed year this year, so I cannot afford. Well, A, I cannot afford it financially, but B, I can't afford the time to train. I've got too many other things to do this year. And in fact, I think I do actually have a race on the 3rd of June. Do we have a race? Is it? No, it's a week later. The South Downs Way 100 is a week later, I think.
Not sure if that's the weekend of the Backyard Ultra. Yeah, Sarah, rest up. Jeff Partridge is talking to Clive, saying, passed your naval swimming test, Clive? Clive says yes, but that was probably the last time he swam. Well, Hayward remembers you held the record from cycling in kitchen quarters. Yes. Tina, no, it wasn't in the tatty old pink pot shed quarters. It was indeed in our kitchen. And the treadmill did move into our kitchen for a while when the old shed was pulled down and we had the new one being built. And if I needed to get to the cupboard behind Stephen, and he was live streaming, I would have to crawl on my hands and knees around the treadmill out of sight. Only one day I caught the cable through the light and it all came crashing down around me. and I wasn't popular. Stephen doesn't remember that. Jeff Partridge says Suffolk Backyard is the inter-service Ultra Championships this year. I might still be eligible for the Navy team. Go for it, Jeff. I didn't actually know that. We've got a few long distance runners signed up this year, so it might be an interesting race.
Oh, Suffolk Backyard Ultra is the Inter-Service Ultra Championships. Okay, so both Jeff Partridge and Clive Finnemore could run in the Backyard Ultra for the Navy. Amy is thinking of signing up for a Backyard Ultra. She's also thinking of signing up for the Grim Reaper 40-miler as well. Oh, it's a lovely course. I just don't like the company very much, but it's been taken over now, so it's a different company, yeah. I don't think so, and I think it's a different company have taken it over. I think, yeah, because Lindley is an ex-serviceman, I think that's why that's been created for the Backyard. Clive says, do you think I would still be eligible, Jeff? I don't see why not, Clive. 14 minutes to go here. Heart rate is still 112 currently. Nice and relaxed in zone 1, and we're staying in that zone for the entire run. We're not going any faster. We're just staying at 9 kilometers an hour. By the end of the run, hopefully we'll have done about 12 or 13 kilometers. And running through the streets of France and edging my way now towards level 23, which I think, I don't know if I'll get to. It looks very close indeed. I don't know whether we'll make it. We might make it to level 23 before the end of the run. 10.7 kilometers done for the beacon and the group around me.
Amy, you really should seriously consider signing up for the Suffolk Backyard. It's such a beautiful route. I absolutely loved it. And you're used to running at that pace. Amy is still in zone 3, but it's been steady. Yeah, you may find that your zones have been set incorrectly. Tina is convinced that Stephen's orange bar moves quicker than hers, and mine too. I don't think my orange bar's moved or run. No. Stephen says, Tina, you're not running. That's why your orange bar is not moving. Jeff said it's the RAF Ultra Running Lead that has nominated the Suffolk Backyard Ultra as the championship and has got agreement from the other services, trying to get the civil service included as well. Very good. 11k done, Stephen? I've run the same distance as Stephen, but in the actual in-game, I've not covered as far. Clive says, have a chat with your contacts, Jeff. See if we can get in. His secret contacts for the secret job he's doing. I'm convinced that Jeff Partridge is Johnny English.
far more Johnny English.
Oh.
I reckon Clive Finnemore is far more Johnny English than Jeff Partridge. Jeff Partridge is like, he's more... Oh! Right, Victoria just said Mr. Bean. You are in trouble now. No, I was gonna say... more like... I don't want to big him up, but it feels like Jeff would be in an office, having done his time in the field. And Jeff is like middle to senior management. What, M? No, Jeff isn't M. But Jeff could be... M. Who is the one that does all the inventions and stuff?
Right, Jeff's gone right off me. Or he says, were you referring to Clive? Jeff, I was trying to put words into Stephen's mouth to get him into trouble. Less than 10 minutes to go, apparently. Wow, how quickly is this time gone? I've not even eaten a single Malteser. Yes, Jackie Romas, Q. That's who I was thinking of for Jeff Partridge.
Yeah, Jeff Partridge.
A bit of trivia, I am actually related to the actress who plays Q.
No. Judi Dench is M.
M. Oh, sorry, Judi Dench is M. Who I'm related to. Yes, Q was the cheeky guy with the glasses. Even I'm going mad tonight. Jeff Partridge says, you're right though, Stephen. Middle to senior management doing clever stuff. Tina says Jeff is Moneypenny.
Right, I reckon Jeff Partridge has gone right off Victoria and Tina. Victoria reckons Jeff Partridge is Mr. Bean, and Tina reckons Jeff Partridge is Miss Moneypenny. John Farrell says Q stands for quartermaster.
Stephen, if you were listening, I actually said I thought Jeff Partridge was Johnny English.
Victoria has this way with her where even when we have a serious argument, I mean, obviously, you know, most of this arguing is just banter, although we will have words afterwards. But even when we have a serious argument about something, Victoria has this way of being able to say something, and even if it's completely wrong or total rubbish, she has this way of saying it that makes it sound like it's fact, and she has a way of winning arguments when she has no right to win the argument. Even if I know that I'm correct about something, Victoria could win an argument with me. Because some people just have this knack. I don't know how she does it. And it's very, very frustrating.
I actually think that I picked up this skill from A-level Christian theology, because we had to constantly play devil's advocate. So you had to learn how to twist arguments. And it's great winding Stephen up. Quite right, Sarah. Even if you think you are correct about something, you are in fact wrong.
I totally agree with you, Sarah. I'm not arguing. That's the point. That's the point. Even if I think even if I know I'm right, I'm wrong. There's no way around it.
As long as he knows his place in life, that's all that matters. I wound him up big time this afternoon. because I completed Wordle in 4 and just put him under so much pressure. He did, admittedly, he did it in 4 as well, but he does like to beat me at Wordle every day.
WTF, Jeff Partridge? You're supposed to be on my... What is going on with Team Male here? Unbelievable. So she calls you Mr. Bean, and you still side with her? This is not on.
I called him Johnny English.
No, you didn't. You called him Mr. Bean. It's plain as I can play it. It's recorded. I can play it back to you. Even when it's recorded on video and audio, she's still claiming that she said Johnny English and not Mr. Bean. I can go back and I can prove it with actual video evidence.
Stephen, I think you've completely and utterly lost the plot tonight. Whilst you were struggling for words, I was merely just suggesting Mr. Bean to get you into trouble.
Niels says, good one, see you later. Thank you, Niels. Thanks for joining. This will unfortunately be my final stream on the Zwift Run channel. I've loved my time with you all, but I just give up. I give up now. I've had enough. That's it. I was humiliated on Thursday, and now this.
Jeff will be playing the live stream back later to check. Sarah has noticed that Stephen is completely rolled up. Jeff Partridge is saying Stephen's heart rate. Thank you, Tina. She thinks I'm so classy. John Farrell says, if a man yells something in the woods and there are no women there, is she still wrong?
If a man does something in the woods and there's no women there, is he still wrong? Probably. Sarah Jacobson says, wow, you are riled up. Well, I'm not being dramatic, Sarah. You basically forced me into singing the Ski Sunday theme tune. Was it you? Somebody did. Forced me into singing the Ski Sunday theme tune, and then goaded me to be quiet for 5 minutes, which was the most difficult thing I've ever done. Right, Jeff's had a blast, he's off for dinner. Dinner is calling. Basically, Jeff stirs up the pot and then leaves. I see. Look, we've only got 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, we've only got 2.5 minutes left, Jeff. You stay to the bitter end and you will like it. You stay. You created this mess. You stay and see it out to the end. Damn you. Right, me leaving the Zwift Run channel. Nikki says, at least that means Victoria gets a screen. Jackie Ramos says, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Stephen and Victoria, for the entertainment. No problem. Have a great weekend. Rest of your weekend, everyone. 2 minutes to go.
Tina is off for dinner too. Thank you all. Thank you for everyone who's taken part, and thank you for everyone who's joined in the live chat or watched. Next week is 90 minutes of running. However, Stephen and I, unfortunately, will not be running next Saturday because we will be away. Sarah's disappointed she didn't make it to the end of this run. Sarah, did the correct decision and stop. If you've got knee and toe issues, it's not worth pushing through and injuring yourself. Be kind to yourself. We've still got time to get fit for Paris. and you've probably still completed further distance this week than I have. It's all about finish lines in Paris.
Right, does anybody want to take the yellow beacon for next week? I totally forgot, and Victoria is right once again. We won't be here next week, we are away. So for the 90-minute run next week, does anybody want to take the yellow or the red beacon? Message me if you would like the beacon. Clive or Sarah or Nikki, Amy Green. You don't have to run fast, you don't have to do anything, but it's always nice to have a leader in a run like this. Anyone who wants to take the yellow beacon next week or the red beacon. Right, Sarah's happy to do it. Amy Green, do you want the yellow beacon or the red beacon? Clive Finnemore, do you want the red beacon? Tina, anyone? Jeff Partridge? We are done, and I didn't make it to level 23, so we'll have to wait for the next run to get to level 23. Or yeah, let's go to 13k. I'm going to go to 13 kilometers. Round it up to 13 kilometers for me. May as well, why not? Right, Sarah Jacobson, you can have, if you're happy, you can have the yellow beacon. You don't have to run fast at all. They're nice, very, very slowly, nice and easy. And just one or two messages of encouragement to everyone as the run goes on. That would be great. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, she says she's never done it before. No, Sarah, you'll be absolutely fine. Just one or two messages through the run to encourage people. And that'll be absolutely great. It's just nice to have a leader on these runs so people don't feel like they're just kind of running on their own and solo. Jackie's going to be away next week. And Amy Green is out next Saturday as well, so she won't be around. Nikki says, great run, everyone. Thank you, Nikki. Well done to you. Thanks for joining again. And we're just rounding it up to 13 kilometres. Victoria's on 12.7. Are you going to go to 13? Okay, Victoria's on 12.7. She's going to go to 13 as well. I'm going to stop at 13. Sarah Jacobson says I might be running by myself. Sarah, I will put an advert on Zwift Runners to make sure that you have at least a few people to keep you company. And there have been plenty of people running tonight, so I'm sure you won't be on your own. Okay, we are done here. Victoria's just got 200 metres to run, so we'll stay with Victoria until she's finished. I've got a hot chocolate, which I am absolutely loving. Marcus Holmes has arrived late. He says, sorry I missed this one, was out with my kids. Marcus, would you like to run next week with Sarah? Sarah's got the yellow beacon. You could have the red beacon if you want. We're doing 90 minutes next Saturday. Well, you guys are, because Victoria and me are away, so we won't be able to run next Saturday. So if Sarah's going to do the yellow beacon, you can have the red beacon if you would like to join. Victoria is just coming to the end. To 13 kilometres for the evening, and that is us done for 1 hour 25 minutes. Okay, Marcus is up for that. Right, so it's an all US team next week for the Paris Marathon training session. 1.5 hours of Sarah Jacobson and Marcus Holmes being a comedy duo from across the pond. That's going to be awesome. So Marcus is happy to take the red beacon next week, and Sarah Jefferson the yellow beacon. That'll be brilliant. Thank you. We'll actually be watching that. So we'll try. Are we going to be able to watch? If we can get a signal on our phone, because where we're going in Dorset, and Tina will verify this. Where we're going in Dorset, there is virtually no phone signal. So if we can get a signal on our phones, we could take the satellite dish. No, okay, it costs too much money. US takeover next week. Sarah Jacobson's already delighted. I can see it in her eyes. We will try and tune in and offer some encouragement next week for you guys. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for taking part today. Thank you for the very entertaining chat. You guys always have a way of managing to wind me up, and I think it's mainly Victoria's doing, but she knows how to pull my trigger. No, that's not the right word to say, is it? What is poke the bear? No, that's still wrong. No, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, basically Victoria knows how to wind me up, and you guys know how to back her up. So that was fun. We will see you. So Clive will see you next on the Zwift Run channel. He is going to do the MHG run on time UK time on Monday, early in the morning US, and then lunchtime US, early evening UK, the Monday community run. Clive will be live streaming that, and I will be back on Tuesday with the Film My Run 500 in the morning. And we will do a Zwift Academy run in the evening. Zwift Academy stage 1 or 2 or whatever. Probably stage 3 actually by then in the evening. By then, and Marcus will show us how it's done. Well, now don't say that, because I'll start talking about getting you on camera and doing a live stream, doing it as a live stream. I know Marcus has already been on, but anyway, look, we should go. I need a shower. Were you going to say something else then? Yes.
Going to figure out how to live stream by next time. It's a good idea, actually. You could both live stream. And we know Marcus is very entertaining, because he did do a live stream from Shed Quarter.
Sarah, honestly, you wouldn't get a word in edgeways if Marcus Holmes was on. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next week. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. And bye-bye, folks.